Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is a few of the words that I've picked to riff on in my soon forthcoming book called In a Word, Candid Takes on 102 Words. So this is from the section Views. First word is taxes. Doing my income taxes eats up a week of my time every year. Why not take it to an accountant? Because you still must organize your receipts. That's what takes the most time, and because I know the rules regarding my situation, I do my taxes myself. Many middle-class people feel they derive insufficient benefit from their taxes. Income tax, sales tax, property tax, local business tax, plus tolls and high parking rates, and don't get a ticket. You may need to take out a loan. There is a better way to tax than income tax. Putting aside the question of whether we need more taxes or less, it certainly would be nice to save the inordinate time we spend and accountants spend preparing tax returns. We should replace income tax with a value-added tax, that's called a VAT commonly, in which everything you buy, except for basics so the poor doesn't get hurt, gets taxed, added to the sales tax, with luxury items taxed at a higher rate. With a VAT, there's less cheating because the tax is built into the price of the items you buy. It's fairer because you're taxed on what you spend. Plus, by taxing consumption, it's good for the environment. Am I missing anything? The next word is space. I know a scientist who worked on the Webb telescope. That's the replacement for the famous Hubble. I asked him, with all the problems on Earth, why spend zillions on space? I expected him to talk about the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, but he said that it comes down to hope. Hope that, just maybe we'll find alien life, but more likely we'll discover new products. I asked him what's already come from the zillions spent on space, and he said, Tang first, that's powdered imitation orange juice, that was first use in space. Then he mentioned foil blankets, which is particularly appreciated by fans who attend wintry football games. Campers appreciate freeze-dried meals, and most of us prefer ear thermometers to oral and certainly to rectal. But are such benefits a wise use of our taxpayer dollars? Consider the opportunity cost. If all the money that NASA and SpaceX has spent would be reallocated to funding a greater assault on cancer, on heart disease, and on reinventing education, humankind would be far better off. The next word is first. First experiences are exciting. I recall my first ice cream, my first roller coaster ride, my first time driving, my first apartment, my first time having sex. What about winning first place? Sometimes even the winner has mixed feelings because future expectations may be ratcheted too high. Competition is healthy. It can spur motivation. But when there's one winner and many losers, the net could be demotivation. An answer lies not in everyone gets a trophy, but in having a number of earned winners, depending on the quality of entries, maybe even ties for first place. Next word is prices. Our cost of living is higher for reasons beyond the prices being raised. For example, there is reduced availability of bargain, unbranded items, which cost less because the price didn't build in the cost of the branding and the marketing of it. For example, I recall not so long ago buying a shirt for $15. Now, I'd have a hard time finding one for less than $40. That's well beyond the inflation rate. Another example, there used to be many hole-in-the-wall restaurants that cost little for a good meal. Now the restaurant consultants have upscaled them, so even at a modest restaurant we're paying $10, $12 for a glass of wine and $20 for an a la carte entree. You may even have to pay for bread. 20 years ago, I was consulting at Southwest Missouri State University, and they took me on a tour of the original Walmart. I was amazed at the prices, often a half of that at other stores. Now, Walmart and Target and Amazon's prices are pretty much the same as at other stores. Maybe the worst deal is higher education, thanks to bloating administration, accelerating ideological bias, and the ubiquity of degree holders. Now, more than 70% of high school students go to college. I was looking at my own state, California. Across the University of California's 10 campuses, in-state, all-in, sticker prices, $42,000 a year, and with many students taking 5 or 6 years, it's $200,000 plus in-state. And if you're out-of-state, $300,000 even if you do graduate in 4 years. The point is that the inflation rate underestimates our true cost of living. So when the media, parroting the Democrats' message that inflation is moderating, and you and I experience our true cost of living, which isn't so moderating, you're not wrong. A sustainably middle-class lifestyle is ever less possible. Keep your eyes and ears open. Next word is contraception. It's a key freedom to have a child only when you want. In the U.S., contraception is readily available, although not necessarily for all teens. It should be, and implantables such as Nexplanon should be free to the poor. Internationally, access is worse, which should be remedied. And finally, the word media. The left insists that America's most powerful entity is the military-industrial complex. No longer. It's the media. It has long affected people's beliefs, behavior, and voting, but acceleratingly, most mainstream media has abandoned its time-honored and wise role to fairly present a range of benevolently derived positions, left, right, and apolitical. Now, with the urgings of journalism schools, many, if not most journalists, see themselves as activists, amplifiers of leftist agendas. Journalists use their estimable wordsmithing to manipulate us to do their bidding, which is often derived, sadly, from their isolated, not real-world bubble, leftist education, and then the peers that they've hired and befriended. Their views are just a fraction of American intelligent thought, but anything that dare veer right of center is subject to the media's iron-fisted 3 C's: censure, censor, and cancel. It's little surprise that journalists, previously a respected profession, in the most recent Gallup poll, sits near the bottom of trustworthiness alongside car salesmen and lawyers. How do you resist? Consume both liberal media, like the New York Times, CNN, NBC, PBS, CBS, or NPR, and the opinion pages of the Wall Street Journal, Reason, or the moderate front page, and debate sites such as intelligencesquared.com. Wisdom does reside across the ideological spectrum. Anyway, those are a few of the words I riff on in the views section of my book, In a Word. 103, I think, my candid thoughts on 103 words that are worthy. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 32 books. Probably the most relevant to this is What's the Big Idea? 39 Reinventions for a Better America. In any event, I do thank, all of them are on Amazon. Just go there, search on my name, Marty Nemko, Nemko, and you will find more than you can stomach. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.